Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
My student loans are due today. But so I called Nelnet, which is where the student loans are, I pay them to, and I asked if I pay my student loans, but the Department of Education is dismantled, who am I paying loans to?
What?
And they couldn't tell me. They said, a lot of stuff going on. We have no idea. And I said, great. Can I defer them? Because I'm a little confused about what's happening right now and a little concerned. Well, actually a lot concerned and worried and if there's no Department of Education, why am I paying my student loans? And I even said that I'm probably really ignorant to what's happening right now, but it doesn't seem like I am. It seems like they have no idea either. So are we paying student loans still, everybody?
All right. So, hey, all right. Hey, what's going on, family? This time for No Picks Podcast.
What up, fam? Joe, No Picks Podcast.
All right, Joe. So I got a couple of different clips to show. It's basically along the same line. So basically, I'm sure you probably heard this already, but Trump stopped all this whole deferring loans and potentially erasing the student loan debt from everybody that was hoping Biden won, right? Or Kamala won. So basically, people have to go back to paying their student loans. And what I'm seeing is that it's disproportionately, the people that's disproportionately complaining about it are women.
Ooh.
Which makes sense because women dominate colleges now. They're the ones getting all these degrees, blah blah blah. There are less and less men in colleges, but there seem to be an outcry from them being like kind of bitching and complaining like, oh, we shouldn't pay these loans or whatever. So talking about her specifically in this situation, she's talking about I shouldn't have to pay because the Department of Education doesn't exist. You borrowed the fucking money, pay it back. What are you talking about? So that makes no goddamn sense. You bought a house, so sometimes you get a loan from loan company, let's say Rainbow, right? Mortgage company Rainbow,
and they sell it to somebody else.
They sell it to someone else, so you start paying Wells Fargo or Citibank or whoever the mortgage. That's the equivalent of you being like, well, I mean, who am I? I got a loan from Rainbow Bank. Why am I paying? I should stop. I could stop paying my mortgage because now I didn't agree to pay Wells Fargo. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Right. No. Well, yeah, you're right. You're right. So I'll admit I'm not as well versed on. I know that they gutted the Department of Education. I know that. I know that the Trump administration gutted the part of it. Whether it still exists or not, I mean, it exists, right? They just gutted it out, cut it down significantly. I also don't know. To her point, what happens if you have? If you borrow the loans, if they're federal student loans, in my mind, you borrowed from the government.
Yeah.
So you're paying the government back. Just because the department left doesn't mean the debt just disappears. You borrowed it from the government, which means the government is going to want that back. So you're going to pay that back. So that for me makes sense. I don't know who the payment goes to. You know what I mean? Because usually, I right now I'm deferred right now until later this month, or next month. And I'm worried because my loan just got transferred to another company, and I don't know if my my monthly payment is gonna go up significantly. That I have been seeing. Have you seen that, Ty? Some people's payments went up from some people had the savings program, like an income driven, John. Trump got rid of that. You know what I mean? Like they got rid of the income driven stuff. So now people were paying say 100 or 150 or based on whatever you made. Now people are expected to pay $500-$600 a month, which for me is insane, right? So there have been some changes that have a lot of people have declined to make their student loan payments in the past few months. Like those numbers have gone up significantly. So people just aren't paying these tuition payments right now. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm not an expert on this, so I don't want to speak definitively, but I know that there is an issue now with this new system and all the changes that came with Trump. But to answer the big chicks in the beginning, the land whale in the beginning, you do need to pay that money back.
Yeah.
The debt does not just disappear. It doesn't. It's still there. So.
Right. Let me play another clip. It's like I said, it's along the same lines, but I just.
No, that's fine because I got to learn more about this issue too because it's going to affect me once my payments come out of deferment next month. So.
There's a lot of things in this world that I'll pay, but student loans is not one of them. I'll be seeing people
serious
loans, and I'm not gonna have that stressor. Why? Because I'm just not gonna pay it. I just don't get the concept of me furthering my education and going to school so I can be in debt 100 grand. I just don't understand. So what y'all telling me is that we can fund wars for and do with us, but we making our Americans pay all this money in debt for school. Then what happened to Biden? Biden, you said you was finna, that's how you got us. You said you was gonna cancel 10,000 or 20,000, whatever the case may be. I ain't seen a cancellation yet. So I'm just trying to figure out who's the people that actually got canceled. Because I ain't seen nobody come on this internet here and say that their student loans have been canceled. The government is gonna have to get them student loans by blood because I'm never gonna just make a payment on them. Never. Y'all gonna have to come take that out of my check in order to get it because it ain't.
And
happening.
they will. It's, you know, yo. All right. So,
hey, Joe. Joe, go ahead. I thought they was getting to the bag. I thought everybody on the internet, I thought all the women, particularly all the black women on the internet, was all getting to the bag. They all made all this money, right? They always vacationing. They always get like, why can't you pay these student loans off? You get into the bag. That's nothing to you. That's light work. That's pennies. That's chump change. You won't be in Dubai next month.
Yeah.
Like y'all gotta pick a lane. Are y'all getting to the bag or are y'all struggling? Like Joe, do they need a provider or are you an independent woman? Like, pick a fucking lane and stay there and leave. Like y'all killing me with this. Like, y'all, like, what you mean you're not gonna listen? The terms of the loan didn't change.
Right.
When you like when you got the loan, when they got the loan, they didn't say, "Hey, we're going to give you all this money because we can also fund wars." Because you're talking about, oh, y'all can fund wars, right? You knew that was the case before you asked them for $100,000 for your loan.
Yeah, right.
So now you're trying to be like, oh, y'all can do this, but y'all can't. You already knew that.
That's where she lost me.
On a dotted line.
You already borrowed the money, and the thing about they didn't force you to borrow it. And before you borrow it, remember you got to sign like all these documents saying that you're going to agree to pay it back. If they'll tell you about loan deference, like they'll tell you about the penalties. You sign all of that up front. Before you get that money gets disbursed to you, you sign all this paperwork saying you're going to pay this money back. So how dare you go to school for 4 years, and then after you go for 4 years, and then used up all that money that they let you borrow, then saying, you know what, I'm not gonna pay this back because we fund for wars. Like, trick, you done signed the paperwork already. This is debt that you committed to. How you gonna be mad that you committed to it after the fact? After you done wrote out the 4 years and got the degree? How much sense does that make, bro? That doesn't make any sense, bro.
Joe,
it doesn't make any sense.
This is what no accountability look like.
Oh my God, bro.
Listen, I can't even make it about a black woman thing. I think women just innately just have a really strong resistance to accountability in general. We've talked about this before. You get into an argument with a woman, either it's one or two things. If it's your fault, you're a piece of shit. You got to own up to it. It's your fault. Shut the fuck up and apologize. If it's her fault, somehow it's both of y'all fault.
Right.
So in this situation, she's blaming the government for her. She's blaming the government for her taking out a loan. So it's not exactly her fault. It's kind of the government fault. It's not really her fault. She just, to me, just out here getting to the bag and making sure she's that part of that percentage that's, the black most educated group in America. It's crazy.
Right. And so committing to pay back a loan and then being mad that you got to pay it back from me is insane, right? There's a perspective one perspective I didn't understand, and I don't know where you fell on this, Ty, but when we were first talking about canceling student debt, and people who had already paid off their debt were like, well, why should we cancel their debt when I done paid off all my debt? And in my mind, I'm like, why are you hating? Okay, you paid your debt off. So you're done. But there are other people who still have this money. So why would you not want to see other people be freed from all that money that they have to pay back? Wouldn't that be a good thing? Like that, I didn't understand why people were like, well, I had to pay my back, so they should too. That for me was hating. You're bitter because you had to pay yours back, and now everybody else is getting theirs canceled. I'm like, that for me was just bitter. I can understand.
I can see it because it's like they get free money, but what do I get? Because that's
but just because you had to pay it back, how come you can't see your fellow bro? Like, bro, that's some hating shit. That's like, oh, I didn't get it, so you can't get it. That's wild, bro. That's wild. I didn't look at this. I didn't get it, but it's like, what do I get? Like, you got this now. What do I get? Can I get some free money too? Because you're getting free money. Can I get some free money? I don't know, but how you gonna hate on my opportunity? That's wild. Like that for me is like some hating shit. That really is some like you just mad that you had to pay your money back and I can't get bailed out because you paid your money. Like you don't want to see me succeed because you had to pay it.
You have to admit that it's unfair.
No,
it's not unfair.
It's not unfair. It's legal. It's law. If legally they decided to cancel student debt, that would be law, right? That's law. It is what it is. You missed the train. So because you missed the train, now everybody can't get on the train. That for me is like that's wild. That mentality I can't get with. I don't. Right. But being mad that you got the money and then you got to pay it back, that's just stupid. Why did you take the money in the first place? Like that's why I'm just like, you're just no idiot. You took the money, you used it, you got your degree, now you pay it back. So
and I bet you, and Joe, you know, because you got student loans before. Sometimes you get a big ass refund in the middle of the joint. You get like
a little refund.
Grand. Get a little, or I didn't get through, but I got like 600 here, 800 here, whatever. And I did whatever I wanted to do with the money. I bought alcohol. I did this. I did that.
You could have paid it back. You could have put it towards the loan. But no, I used to get 2-3 racks a couple times. Nope, add it to the bill. I'm gonna pay it back. Like
I'll pay it back. I'll pay it back. Right? But this also goes to the point of, you know, why women are veering towards Democrats, you know, because there's a big gender divide in the political parties right now, and it's like never been wider than it is right now, particularly amongst the Gen Z people from when I was reading. But you know, men are veering towards Republican and women are veering towards Democrats, because I would argue that this is a big ass reason that women are veering towards the Democratic Party, because the Democratic Party is like, hey, you can go to school for free, we'll bail you out, and the Republicans are like, you got to pay this shit off.
Right, and then the Democrats lied though, because they're not bailing people. They're not bailing anybody out. So, no, yeah, you're right, bro. I mean, I was hoping Biden would come through with that too. Like, I have about 11,000 left in my student loans, which
that's nothing compared to,
you know what I mean, right? But if you would have canceled anything from like 20,000 or down below, I would have been free. I would have been like, thank you. You know what I mean? But he didn't even do that. Ran on it, campaigned on it, didn't even do it. Didn't even bring it up. You know what I mean? Like, didn't do anything about it. So. That people are justified in being upset about that, right? Trump not going to do that. Trump's like, no, pay it up.
He
pay that money.
Straight up with it. Like,
pay that money.
So let me. This is the last joint. Let me play this last joint, and then we can finish it up.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I already wasn't planning on paying the student loans. I'm gonna just give it to you straight right here. I was never planning on giving it back from the moment that I signed up for it.
That's crazy.
I'm triple not paying it now. I'm triple not paying it now. Are y'all fucking crazy? Mind you, I'm not even supposed to be on this app. I quit this app, but I'm back now because shit has gotten out of hand. You're taking money out of people's checks to fund a schminicide? And you want me to take money from mine own life, from thine own
apples
life?
And oranges. Apples to oranges.
When we got homeless people in tent cities, think of the darkness and depravity of that phrase.
That has nothing to. Oh God, bro.
And you want to send the tent city money over to the funding the schminicide? Kiss my ass. I'm not fucking doing it. Okay. We could. I did the numbers. We could solve some hunger. We could feed some babies over here. We could have some social services. I look like a single mom who works too hard. But anyway, we could do all kinds of shit. Free wigs, free nails, free daycare, all of that. But y'all want to send our money over there to fund dropping schmoms on people. Y'all can eat my dick. I was never paying it, but I'm double not paying it now. I might try to figure out how to rob y'all. Kiss my ass.
Again.
That hurt my brain.
I thought y'all was getting to the bag. Where are all these, like, this money should be chump change, because all of y'all make over $100,000 a year. Pay this shit back. Pay these people their money back. And what is her point even? Okay, well, because the U.S. government does bad things. Like, so now you a fucking you like a warrior for like morality now. Like now you
are you a social justice warrior because you don't want to pay your student loans back. Bro, that's what got me. I'm like, do you even care? When have you ever do you even know where Palestine is on a map? Do you know where Israel is? Like, I'm pretty sure you don't even know where the Middle East is on a map.
Right.
You know what I mean? You've never championed any issue from anything that was outside of your race, probably. And now all of a sudden, because you don't want to pay your loans back, you're trying to talk about a genocide? When black folk in the hood don't give about that?
Right.
I ain't never talk about that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying
cared.
To garner sympathy by using that as your example. I'm like, and plus it's apples to oranges. You taking out loans, signing documents saying that you will pay that back has nothing to do about the fact that our government is funding genocide. That is two separate issues.
Right.
That's like saying I'm not going to pay my rent this month because President Biden, is bombing it. You know what I mean? Or you know what I mean? Like attribute. I don't even know what to compare it to, bro. It's so stupid. It's two completely different things.
Listen,
I don't understand.
You knew that if your argument is the American government is amoral or immoral, you knew that before you fucking signed those papers.
Right.
Like, listen,
right.
In Iraq, I feel like Afghanistan was kind of understandable, was justifiable. They hit the shit, the trade towers, whatever. But in Iraq, nobody knows why we even niggas like, listen, they wanted to get some oil, they want to get some money out that joint. So that was pure. If that is true, right? I'm not no expert on this, right? But if that's the case, then that's clear immorality from the American government. You were alive, or I don't know how old this chick is, but that happened in our lifetimes. Right. So if that was the case, you shouldn't have borrowed no money from this amoral system that you don't want to be a part of. Just be like, nah, I'm not borrowing no money. If that's the case, if you don't want to borrow money from organizations that have done amoral shit, you ain't borrow money from nobody.
Right.
Or you do want to borrow the money. You do want to borrow the money because you don't care about that. You only care about their morality once it's time to pay it back.
Right, and that's my bro, and that's my issue because you know how I feel. Not even how I feel, how we feel, because we've always said like, yo, the government right now, as it stands for the past couple of years, has given more money to Israel, to Ukraine, has given more money to all these foreign countries instead of taking care of Americans first, right? With our inflation, cost of food, cost of living, cost to buy a home. We could counter some of the homelessness. We're giving money to immigrants. We're giving money to everyone but Americans. I can sympathize with that, and I understand that Americans need relief before anyone else, right? I can sit with that. Right. However, that being the case, if you take out a loan that you signed for, you can't just say, I'm not going to pay it back because my government is not supporting America first. That is two separate things. That's why I'm like, what the fuck is she talking about, bro? Like, you already you got the money back. Now you're trying to blame it on funding the genocide. This ain't got nothing to do with that, sweetie. Nothing. You signed them loans years ago before this was happening. Like,
but she also said I was never paying it back anyway.
Right. This is like self-incrimination, bro. Like they can see this and probably. And the thing is, with student loans, bro, they don't go away. It's not like a medical bill that you can just ignore. Bro. This affects your credit score. This could lead to wage garnishment. It's always going to be on your collection. Like, it's always going to be on your credit history. Yeah. So she going to F around and found out, like, not paying back federal loans is huge, and it's going to mess up your credit score. It really, for years to come. It's crazy.
Yeah. Sis, you're gonna be messed up. I bet you she's the same chick that talking about I don't need no man. Yo, your ass need a man. You need a fucking man. You need a man for sure, 100%. You need a man. If anybody need a man, it's you. Like, you need somebody. She was
attractive until she opened her mouth. Then she started talking, and I'm like, oh god, you so ugly now. I feel the same way.
Yeah. All right. Well, let us know what y'all think, family. Listen, if you guys have issues with student loan stuff, join the army. That's why I fucking joined. So they paying my shit back. I mean, listen, you had to do something. I mean, I don't know if these chicks will be able to make it in there, but the first chick definitely won't be. She won't make the cut, but the other two might. I mean, it's some pretty. I'm not even gonna say what I was about to say, but anyway, let me know what y'all think, family. Like, comment, subscribe, and until next time.